This was a slaughterhouse for Henson's the butchers. In this building here was the slaughterhouse. Outside through the doors was the lairage where we kept the animals overnight. Then the animals were brought across through a door in the wall here, along this wall here, to this point here, and then they were dispatched. Then they were moved across the floor to here, hoisted in to the ceiling on these rails, and they were skinned and dealt with. The slaughterman would then split the carcass down the middle with something like this, and then it would go into what we call the factory area. It would go into this room here, and this is what they call the cooling room, and it would be there overnight, ready for use, to go through into the fridge, to be cooled down and stored there for a week, ready for the butchers to use it. The shop was farther down the alleyway that's outside. The bakery was off to the right. The sausage house was in the next room, where they made all the sausages, made all the sausage meat, and the bakery across the alleyway is where they made all the sausage rolls, the pork pies, and meat and potato pies, and everything for what they called the pork shop. And it was a very good place to work, but very, very busy. We had an awful large amount of orders to fulfill, all of the hotels, all of the schools, all of the hospitals, and we had 2 vans that would go out into the countryside, one on a Tuesday, one on a Wednesday for the midweek orders, and then it would repeat on a Friday to take the weekend orders, and on a Saturday to take the weekend orders. So it was very busy. A large amount of people worked here, and there are 1 or 2 pictures on the walls to show you who they were. This was Ken Churchill. This one's Peter Brain. Gentleman there called Victor Van Luke. He came to England in the Second World War. He was a Belgian free fighter, and he was wounded, and he was brought over to England, and they repaired him. He recovered, and he wanted to stay in England, and he started working for Stanley Henson. I started here in 1963. My wages were £17 a week, which was quite a lot of money, but it was a lot of hours and a lot of hard work. There's me stood there. That fella there is Stan Snow, that's Nobby Clark, and that's Stan Chapman. Just some of what they called the shopmen. And these shopmen were very special people. We had 7 or 8 butchers serving the public, and the public would come and speak to their favourite butcher, and they would come to see that one every week. And if you were a new person starting in work, you would turn up the first day and you wouldn't be able to serve anybody, because the people that came to the shop would only let their regular butcher serve them until they got to know you and you knew exactly what they wanted. We worked very hard, but there was never a dull moment. It was a really nice place to work. Oh, and that reminds me of a little funny story. There was 1 little pig, 3 butchers running after it, and it ran down the yard, out into the street, up the street, and the butchers were following it. And it was the time of the Christmas decorations, and the Christmas tree was on the top of the street on the island, and this little pig was running round and round the bottom, 3 big burly butchers running round after it, until someone had the thought to stop, wait until the pig run round and we caught it.